The big question you need to ask yourself every day is, do I own a job or do I own a business? And unfortunately, the majority of contractors out there own a job. That's right, they're a slave to their own business. But the other side of the fence is so much greener, it's so much better, and that's when you're finally fully in control of your destiny, your freedom, your time. And that's what Contractor Secrets is about. It's about taking back our time, building a business with systems, standards, values, procedures, putting yourself in the driver's seat. And that's what it's about. So I'm excited. I'm happy to have you here. Let's dive into the Contractor Secrets podcast. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Business Breakthrough. In today's episode, I sit down with Ian with Brinq Construction in Canada. Great episode. We really dove into some of the areas that he's wanting some improvements on in his business, but more so we kind of had to pivot. You know, one area that a lot of you who listen to this know that I am very passionate about is niching down. So this was really cool to kind of just go back and forth with him about some strategy, but ultimately to help him niche down and see the value in doing so. So you're really going to get a lot out of this one. Great episode, awesome business breakthrough. And of course, if you want to join me on a business breakthrough, just reach out. There's a link below this podcast. You can book a time, and I'd love to help you out. So what's going on, everyone? I'm here with Ian with Brinq Construction. Already, I love the branding. I actually love the name. It's BRINQ. Yep. Modern, cool. I would give them a call just from the name itself. Forward thinking. I don't know. That's just the way I do business. But I have Ian on here. Reached out, podcast listener. Shout out to Alex, friend of Ian, who connected him on my podcast. Really grateful for the support. Where are we, man? You general contractor, you told me. Yep. Tell me what's going on. You started your business in the peak of COVID, like a crazy person. Turned out to be a good idea. Now you're in business, but from what I understand in your message that you reached out, you're heavily involved in the production. Is that what's going on?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I am like 100% in the production. I don't have anyone working for me. And okay. Now, like I said, I do listen to your podcast and I am trying to catch up because I'm greatly behind. Like I just started the
a lot of episodes, dude. I just hammer them out, man. I'm hitting 4 or 5 a week, man. Just pumping the content.
And that's awesome. You know what? Like that right there is like super motivating because like I do something like that. Like I do vlogging. And cool. I vlog my day-to-day on my construction site. So I try to pump out.
Oh, nice, dude. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's not easy to do.
Absolutely. No, and I can understand where you're coming from too.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of commitment. But
it does.
Yeah. So I started my business at the heart of COVID and I am 1,000,000% the production. I have no guys working for me. And my biggest problem is like I want to hire so bad, but it's the sustainability to be able to hire somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
just so like, this is your first business?
Absolutely. Like, okay. Like,
so I guess how did you go from nothing to a general contractor though?
So
because isn't there some sort of like qualifications? Like, tell me what that looks like first.
Absolutely. So in Canada, you don't necessarily need a license to become a general contractor. But for what I did is I first started when I was 17. I was dropping out of high school. So I didn't even finish my high school. Okay. I just hated school. Like I grew up with a learning disability, right? And school just wasn't for me. So then I joined a company that did commercial construction. We basically built like you have Dollar Tree. It's basically the same thing here, Dollarama. And we did all the Dollaramas in Ontario.
Better name.
Yeah, right. Nothing's a dollar anymore though. So
no, it's never a dollar, dude. You don't ever go. Yeah.
But so we did commercial construction. I sat there for about 2 years. And then I left there, joined 1 or 2 companies that for like not even a week, couldn't find anything I liked. But then I joined another contractor who did custom homes. Okay. When I say custom home, I mean like beautiful, beautiful homes, like $1 million homes in Toronto.
Great mentor, sounds like.
That's the problem. He was probably the worst boss I've ever had.
That's actually
just like dogs.
That's actually a good thing because
absolutely,
a lot. You know what I mean. If you
exactly,
had a bad boss,
and that's why
to do, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Now I have my business. I know exactly what not to do. But he worked like I wouldn't be coming home until 10 p.m. some nights.
Yeah, and he didn't care.
No, exactly. Yeah. It was like we were bodies, we weren't people.
Yeah.
So after that, right when COVID was starting, I joined the union. So I don't know how the union works in America there, but pretty much joined the union. So I started doing high rise because the union's 99% high rise. I was doing finished carpentry and so I was doing finished carpentry for about a month.
Are you like a subcontractor when you work for a union?
No,
You are
technically
part of like an
yeah,
employee of the union.
it,
Okay.
it is an employee of a company. The union basically finds you the work. So
Right.
you know how when you
It's like a really like official temp agency.
exactly,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's like
And
yeah, it's like a frat.
yeah, and everyone has set prices. Like
Right.
you don't get like raises. You get what you
Yeah,
get.
yeah. You get the
So
everyone gets the rate. Yeah, okay, I got it.
exactly, depending
Yeah.
on your skill, of course. So basically, we started doing high rise, and I hated it. It was just like copy and paste. Like I did literally 4 weeks of windowsills, and I couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
So when I
Where's the
left
motive?
there,
There's no motivation there.
absolutely right, and it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like you're progressing because it's the same thing.
Right. Right.
So I left there, and I called back my old boss that one night, and I was like, "Hey man, like union
Oh,
didn't really work out for me. I'm like, can you give me a job?" And I know for a fact, and I've been told this multiple times about the guys who work there, the higher ups, even like the project managers and stuff. I was one of the most valuable people in that company.
right.
So the fact that when I called him, he said, "Let me think about it." Right there, I said, "I'm starting my own business to be better
Yeah,
than
let me
this."
think about it. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
exactly. This
yeah,
isn't a thing. He
yeah,
needed guys, and I know because I had
yeah.
people who still work there that I
Right.
knew. And I
Yeah.
said, "I'm starting my own
Sounds
business."
like a
And
personality that thrives off of power and control, man. And
absolutely,
just that game of like manipulation. Like he wanted to
absolutely.
create dependency out of you.
Yeah.
It saw you in a weak position.
Now,
It's a
when I worked at that company, there was another gentleman there, and we actually started a side business together, just doing weekend jobs here and there.
okay.
And we got our first two jobs: basement renovation and a shed.
Okay.
Now, the day it was a Friday day, and we were packing up the site at the other company, and that night we were going to buy material, and then we were going to work the whole weekend. As we're packing up the site, he's walking downstairs to turn off the lights, trips on a 2x4, breaks his ankle. This is my
What?
coworker.
Yeah.
That
Goodness.
he went to the hospital out of commission for 3 months. I had to do those two jobs by myself, not with like almost no experience. Like I was on
Wow.
YouTube that
YouTube.
night.
I
Yeah.
knew it.
Watching videos. Like I never did roofing before, sheathing, nothing like that.
I
So I'm
love it.
watching videos. I'm going to the store, buying tools. My 2 day
Wow.
or day
By
and a
any
half
means.
job turned into a 3 day job.
Wow.
And then as soon as he got better, he moved to Montreal, which is another province here.
Right. So you're on your own.
I've been on my own since the beginning. I
Okay, so
technically
how long has that from that point in time to now? What's the time frame from that point in time where all that was happening to now?
Well, so when I finished those two jobs, I kind that's when I joined about the union is around there. So I kind of didn't really do anything with my company. I just kind of put it on the back burner.
Okay,
But then when I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do this, that's when I actually fully incorporated. That's where I'm fully
right,
legitimate business.
right.
Yeah.
When did you leave the union?
I left the union probably about like a week before I started my business. So just early June. I started in
This
May
year?
of last year,
Okay, so what have you
2020.
been doing this whole time?
Since I started my business.
Yeah,
Pretty much a bunch of different things. I kind of jumped to do any job right now because I know it's not good, but because I'm so hungry to be able to afford to work, I kind of take anything. So we've done there's three big jobs that we've done so far, or I've done so far in my business, and that is we did a entire main floor renovation, doors, floors, kitchen, bathroom, everything. That one came out to about $60,000, and that was my biggest loss in my life because I didn't understand the difference between markup and profit. I didn't
so
put
how
any
much were
markup
the
on it.
materials for something like that? How you had to be way off because
Oh, absolutely.
your labor is you.
I
You know,
made, I believe I made $6,000 on that job, and that was my
well, that's
labor
not a
hours.
loss. You know,
But that's
don't think
only
of it a
labor.
loss.
But
Yeah,
that's also underestimating how long it took. Like if
right,
I put time into money, I was way out.
right. But
Um,
yeah,
and
so yeah,
and so
okay.
then that was my big job. I did that one, and like I said, I didn't understand
How long did
markup.
that take you to do? 2 months?
About a month and a half.
Hmm.
Yeah, we
So
pushed pretty good.
yeah, so that's good, man. I mean, you sound really motivated, and I think
Absolutely.
that there's a mindset that that you've got to learn to adopt, and and I know these things, but I just try to get foundational when I start these because like
Absolutely.
we can build up from there. My thing is you've always worked for somebody, and right now you have skill set, like you have this skill set that produces you money.
Mhm.
And the idea that you can do everything. I get scared when anyone starting their business starts off as a general contractor because it's
Yeah,
hard to market as a general contractor. That's the
that's
big issue, right?
absolutely.
If like I look at it like if Apple said, "Hey, we're a technology company,"
Yeah,
or
exactly.
we're a software company, right? Like if they did that, I mean, initially off the bat, I believe that they started off with computers. So they were a computer company and they sold computers.
Mhm.
And then they eventually branched off and did all these other things. So like my first thing off the bat is like, understanding the mindset of like you got to come into to Brinq construction as an investor and
Yeah.
and not as what we call a technician. There's a great book called The E-Myth. It's floating around entrepreneur world, where I believe that it would be beneficial for you to read that, because the big thing about that book is that it really just helps you separate from the idea and identify what role you're actually occupying. Um, and another thing that I want to point out, man, is I could tell that quality is really important to you. And
Absolutely.
one of the big fears that I find with what we call, and I'm going to refer to you as a technician, and you'll learn that concept when you read that book. One
Yeah.
thing that I find with technicians, you're operating in the role of a technician, is you're afraid to let that quality go because it puts you out of control and you're not sure if someone can deliver that quality to the standard that you want to deliver it. Again,
Yep.
I know you take pride, like you have the nice branding, nice logo. You want to start this thing off in the right direction. You're listening to
Absolutely.
podcasts. You're going to YouTube something and figure it out until you get it. Like all these things take a good, take a lot of effort on your part with the end goal of a very happy customer, great
Mhm.
reputation. You understand all these concepts, so you're way ahead of the game. The problem is that when you take on complex projects, you have to find complex, detail oriented, skilled individuals that just so happen to be looking for a job.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they be doing it themselves?
Exactly.
If they were that skilled. So your labor pool is very, very limited when you go into general contracting, or when you decide to do remodeling, or you decide to do
Mhm.
these really hard tasks. um, there's no shortage of paint jobs. There's no shortage of flooring installation. There's no shortage of trim work. Like these are
Mhm.
the three easiest
Absolutely.
trades to niche down on. So going back to my analogy with Apple, they started with computers, and it's like you can still be Brinq construction, but you'll learn through listening to my podcast, and really anybody should give you this advice who claims to have a successful business, is you got to pick one. And it's
Mhm.
not just picking one to simplify your processes, but there's so many benefits to picking one. One that I just mentioned is the labor pool becomes way wider. Okay. Because you're not putting high expectations on people to come in and do expert level work, right?
Yeah.
So that's number one. Number two, the marketing becomes way easier. And one of your issues is saying, hey, how do I keep this pipeline full to make sure that I can keep someone busy and consistent, right?
That's why I haven't hired anyone yet.
Right. They go hand in hand. When you're confident in your marketing, knowing that the phone's going to ring, then you're confident you're hiring, knowing that you can produce the end result, right?
Yeah. And honestly, I knew that's what you were gonna say. I knew you were gonna say you got niche down or niche
I
down.
have to say that. There's no,
Absolutely, because I
that's the,
actually
yeah, I have to.
I watched your episode recently that was talking about niching down and not doing too many things. And even with the breakthroughs, I know you told people like, why are you doing painting and cabinet work? Why not just choose one? You know what I mean?
Right.
And sorry, just to confirm, you said the book was E-Myth, like E-MYTH.
Yeah. E-Myth.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It stands
like
for entrepreneurial myth, but yeah, go ahead.
awesome, thank you. And honestly, like I do agree. I think that is like the marketing being the problem. GCing is very, very true. Like okay, so there's a service called Homestars. I know you've talked about it, so you know of it.
Yeah, I know about them. They're just the Canadian version of Home Advisor.
Wrong, actually. The way Homestars works is you pay a monthly fee.
Well, Angie's List. You get
Oh,
it's like yeah, it's like maybe because Angie actually owns Angie's List and Home Advisor and Home Stars.
oh,
So
gotcha.
so you pay a monthly fee and you get, X amount of leads, right?
Yeah, well, they don't actually guarantee amount of leads, but the problem is here. So I do GCing. I pay $450 a month on
Okay.
Homestars. I
Right.
have like I think like a 25 or 30 something like that circle kilometer that I get to put somewhere.
Sure.
Now the problem with that is the jobs that come in are so slow. Like I probably get maybe 2, maybe 3 a month.
Yeah, it's random, it's sporadic, it's
Exactly.
not dialed in, and it's not aggressive because
Exactly.
they haven't built a big enough name in Canada as Angie does in America.
Yeah.
So when I turn on Home Advisor, dude, I mean, sometimes I'll get 2 or 3 a day,
And that's
so
insane.
it's like, That's insane. But there's a couple factors here. Like, first of all, $450 um, is not a lot. Like,
Oh,
that's kind
absolutely.
of like not a lot at all. Like, I mean, even though that's their monthly fee, that equates to about 6 or 7 leads if I were paying per lead. It really just comes down to, like, working backwards, right? So, like, if you were to say, this is how much money I want to make, right? Like, can you tell me
Mhm.
what that number would be on a monthly basis in 30 days? Like, what your goal is to make, in terms of, let's start with sales. Like, what is your sales goal for 30 days if you were to hit it?
Well, my sales goal would probably be, and okay, I just want to confirm, like I'm a young guy. Sorry, quickly going off track here. I'm only 22. I just turned 22 this month. So
Love it.
I'm like this, everything is so new to me. And I didn't have like
Cool.
a father or anyone who can like hand me down information with
Sure.
running a business because nobody works in the trade. Like
Sure.
this is all me.
New.
So some of these terms, like I'm still learning the financial side of this thing,
Love it.
and that's through YouTube and everything like that. So when you
Yeah.
say sales,
Yeah.
you mean that that's before taxes and before profit, or
Yeah.
like not
So
profit?
so when you hear the word gross, okay, I equate it to disgusting because I can't look at it because it doesn't matter. Because what really matters is the net. The net is the safe spot. That's what comes
Yeah,
into you. Imagine you hold a net. That's yours. So that, use those analogies to remember, how
that's
how to separate them.
it's
You
definitely
know,
good
don't
analogies.
get, don't even look at the gross, because you don't get it. It's just before all the stuff comes out of it.
Okay,
Okay.
so when you said
So
sorry,
when
what
I
did
say
you
sales, like, the first thing you have to identify whenever you're building a business is projecting your sales. What are you physically able to produce in a 30-day time frame? You came up to me with a $60,000 job and you said you got
Mhm.
it done in 45 days. So really what you're telling me is you're able to produce, if you're maxed out, between 30 and 35,000 in a month's time. Okay.
I'd
But
say about
again,
that.
but that data is kind of skewed because that is in proportion to what type of materials that person wants, because you're
Mhm.
adding in those materials. So if somebody gets luxury flooring for $8 a square foot, that's going to skew your data.
Absolutely.
That's what's tricky about remodeling. With paint, the paint cost doesn't vary that wide. It's either
Mhm.
going to be between $30 a gallon and $60 a gallon at the most. So I can accurately project. Now, what you did inform me is that you made $6,000 in 45 days. That was your net. That is what you
Mhm.
netted. That's what came into your net. Okay. So that is a foundational principle there, but we got to go a little bit deeper, because if you were an employee of Brinq Construction, you as the employee made $6,000, roughly about $1,500 a week.
Yeah.
Brinq Construction made nothing. So
Yep.
Brinq Construction made no profit. Right now, you're occupying two roles. Role number one, so many more roles, but I'll break it down.
Yeah.
You're the CEO, okay? You're the CFO, you're the COO, okay? CEO, Chief Executive Officer. Number two, Chief Financial Officer. You control all the finances. Chief Operations Officer. You're overseeing production. Okay. CEO oversees all that, right? And now you're also the project manager. Okay. You're the customer relations specialist. You're the salesperson. You're the quality control specialist. You're doing so many different roles.
You're making me
Um,
feel pretty cool right now, though, I will say.
yeah, man, you're amazing.
I've
You
never put
know,
that many titles down on
yeah, dude,
myself.
you have all these titles, man. You're wearing all these hats, right?
Yeah, but it's time to
Um,
take them off, right? It's time to.
well, when we look at what actually grows a business, we look at it as sales are what grows a business. Okay.
Mhm.
Producing the result of a sold project does not grow your business. That just fulfills growth. Okay. That fulfills the promises. Okay. We grew the business when we sold something. When we fulfilled the promise, then we pretty much sustained our business to continue growing. Right.
Okay.
Like, does that make sense? So what you
Yeah.
spend, if you were to put a pie chart together of all the time that you spend, I'd say 80 to 90% of your time is spent sustaining the growth of your business, right?
Mhm.
Producing the result. Okay. When you get these concepts down, it's almost like insane to be like, hey, I'm going to actually be working today. And now I know that you've come to this realization, just breaking this down fundamentally, because it comes with a mindset, because you came from being an employee. So I'm just trying to help you understand
Yep.
like the concepts of a business owner. And it's like you're coming in as an investor, and an investor would start putting people in the right positions. And it comes down to rewiring your business plan, because you can't do this at your stage right now as a general contractor. You can't. You could, but you're going to be hard pressed to find really good help. You're going to pay way more than you should for it. And then you're going to be hard pressed to find consistent marketing, because the general public looks at construction and general contractors as building homes. They don't look at it as remodeling. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah.
Remodeling is an emotional buy. It's a totally different market, and it's way more, you're going to get way more search traffic. Okay. Because again, the average customer, your neighbor next door, okay, if they have the conversation like, man, I would really love to take down this wall, they're not looking up general contractors in Montreal.
Yeah.
What are they looking up? Remodeling companies.
So would you say it would be beneficial to then change my company from a general contractor to a remodeler?
I believe that it would be beneficial, because the long-term goal for you would be to have a remodeling company. I assume. I know that you don't want
Yeah.
to do just one thing. What
Yeah.
that'll allow, what that classification will allow you to do is you'll be able to easily be recognized by the market. Okay, that's free traffic, man. If you're you're going to get skipped over by other remodeling companies. And I implore you to go on Google and act like a customer, dude. Hey, I want to remodel my kitchen. Local kitchen remodelers. Brinq construction is the word construction to the general public is, well, I don't really know what that is. I'm going to avoid that. Okay, even me, even as this coach here or whatever I am, I'm not going to look for a construction company to do a remodel. I want somebody specializes. You don't go to the dentist to get an allergy test.
No,
You go to the general market knows, hey, I have a toothache, I got to go to the dentist. So when it comes to painting, same thing. Hey, I need painting done. I want to find a painting company. I need flooring done. I need to find a flooring company. But what we're trying to do is generate traffic. Traffic is essentially, a result of good branding and good placement of your brand. So where do people travel? We know this. Google, right? What does your Google presence look like?
In terms of marketing, so as of right now, I have a website fully designed by me. I have a Google profile, again, not really designed by me, but set up by me. I have 7 reviews on there, 5 stars. I'm planning to, I remember watching one of your podcasts, and you said, get your friends to do just like a character review.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately, my friends have yet to do it, but I did send them the link.
Hey, dude, follow up with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Just like how I would with my clients. No, but they always are busy anyways. But I will try to get on there to do that, because I want to get to 10. Like you said, you should have a minimum of 10. Sure. And I also did just start setting up a Google ad.
Right. So what's the city you're in?
I'm in, technically I'm in Mississauga. How
do I spell it?
Let's just do Toronto. I'm literally like 15 minutes out of Mississauga.
Dude, even worse. I'm dead serious, because, it's going to be hard to rank in Toronto.
Absolutely.
So if you have a niche city within Toronto, maybe start there.
Okay.
Can you tell me? Yeah.
Mississauga, Mississauga.
Okay, Mississauga, Canada.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put kitchen remodelers, just probably a common search term that's going to have some ads on it. Okay. So first 3 things that come up, you have builder. I don't know. Yeah. It looks like they're similar to Home Stars. It looks like Angie actually made its way to Canada. I would look into that.
Actually?
I think so. They're actually they're ranking Angie. So maybe put a note to look into that. I don't know if they're expanding there. But that would be something to look into. But what you're looking at here, I mean, you have companies that actually have kitchen remodeling in their names. The first 3 that pop up here, and I'll actually share my screen with you so you can see this.
That'd be
fantastic. Because I just want you to understand this from a bird's eye perspective here. Again, I'm just doing what a customer would do. And this is in that town that you're telling me. Okay. This isn't Toronto as a whole. This is just that town, dude. Sounds like you have some good competition here. Don't get intimidated by it. Doesn't matter. No. I'm just telling you how they're ranking and what they're doing. So you have GTA kitchen remodeling right off the bat, Kitchen Land, Kitchen and Bath, Mississauga. Those are your first 3 that are popping up. Okay. In other words, what I'm trying to show you, Brinq construction is so far out of the contention for this traffic, forget it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now there's a way to short circuit this. Okay. You see up here?
Yep.
Okay, these are where your ads are placed at the top of the Google page. Okay, you can short circuit the weight to get on that little map pack. This is called the map pack here. Are you familiar with that term?
I have never heard that, but that's good name.
Yeah, it's called the map pack. It's the three or four that show up under the map. It's a very trustworthy placement because a lot of customers are used to using this map pack to go to restaurants, to go to local salons, or to all this. So
Mhm.
they use this map pack. So yes, this is a valuable placement for these three companies that have won the race to the map pack. Chances are it's because they have really good and high reviews, which that'll get them there. Okay.
Yeah.
But what I'm showing you is that don't be intimidated by this. What you should do initially is you should take your you should allocate some of your marketing budget. Right now, you got 450 locked in with Home Stars. That's fine. I
Mhm.
would raise that budget to at least $1,000 a month
I,
at the
I
very
actually did.
least.
I did do that. I like I said, I got the Google ad. That's about 260 a month. And then there's a website called Bark. And again, like before, I was very like, I don't want to spend my money on leads per lead. But then I thought about it, I'm like, I'm spending my money already on leads on Homestars, and I'm getting less than what I could be
Right.
by buying per lead.
Right.
Like a set in stone, like
Right.
hot lead.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
mean, it's just the mindset needs to be, hey, I'm spending this money to get people. It don't matter who's
exactly.
giving it to you, who gives me the best people to sell my jobs to. That's all I care about. It's
Just
either
people,
they're
right?
going to generate it for you, you better start knocking to go
Yeah.
create, but that's a different topic. But what I'm just showing you here is you can short circuit it with the right approach to Google Ads. Okay.
Mhm.
And you can be ranked in these areas and you can have the right SEO at the top of the Google ad that says, hey, Brinq construction kitchen remodeling specialist. If you want to skip over the rebranding and skip over all that stuff. Okay. That just comes down to you identifying what it is that you want to do. And I want to pause here, man, because I'd really like to know where your head's at. Cause sometimes I go a little too far and maybe
That's
you're
okay.
thinking, man, I don't see myself rebranding. I don't see myself niching down. I like what I do. What are your thoughts about that plan and follow that up with what service you actually want to niche down to so we can maybe go in a different direction?
Absolutely. So honestly speaking, I've thought about sorry, I say niche. I'm just gonna say niche. I've thought about like changing my niche to something that's not GCing, but I think the fact that like the thing I love about GCing is that you're a part of the big picture. And that's always been my thing. I always love being a part of the big picture. And that's what I went into. And honestly, I know you were saying like it's probably easier for you to, niche down and find something better. But I honestly think that the fact that it is harder gives me more motivation to do better.
I
Then,
think that you misinterpreted what I said. I didn't
sorry.
say to niche down and do something better. I'm trying to help you create a system first.
Yes, that's true.
And
Sorry.
you need to learn how to create a system that generates cash flow with predictable results first,
Yes.
because that will translate into you being a very, very good and profitable general contractor, right?
That's yes, that's right. Sorry.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't about you just pivoting and saying, okay, now I just, you know what, Tanner's just telling me to do painting. There's some people I'll give that advice to. You're not one
Yeah.
of them, because I could tell that you really enjoy the large scope, but you're running into a roadblock. Your roadblock is, number one, you can't figure out predictable marketing right now. Okay.
Mhm.
That's number one. You will not ever figure it out unless you pick a niche, because the traffic that's going to the places that are presenting us leads, okay, are specifically looking for one type of service, unless they are really looking for a general contractor, which, no offense, brother, you do
Mhm.
not have the network of competing general contractors to be able to pull in flooring guys, to be able to pull in granite companies, to be able to pull in these big pictures. You're doing it, which some people might be okay with, which you've ran into. They're totally
Mhm.
cool. I think the majority of the expectation of some of these people is they want somebody to do all the facilitating. Would you agree? Have you ran into that with some customers?
Well, actually, I do sub in almost everything. The only thing
Okay.
I do, because like I kind of did niche down to a bit. Like I did go to only really do finish carpentry because that's what I'm best at, right? Finish and rough carpentry. So let's say, okay, I'm doing a job right now. Actually, I'm going to be leaving here after this, but we're doing a basement renovation. We're turning a
Okay.
bathroom and a laundry room into one. So I did all the demo. right?
Okay.
I carried all the garbage outside. I brought all the garbage yesterday to the dump. I'm also doing all the framing.
Right.
I'm also doing all the finished carpentry. Like we're doing a custom shelf, but I have a guy coming in to do the tile. I had a guy come to do the spray foam. I have guys coming to do the countertops. I have guys to come do the I'm doing the drywall. I also
You
do
left out
drywall.
this major piece of information, man. You made it
Yeah.
seem like it was just you by yourself. That
It,
changes
it
the game.
yeah, no, it definitely does change the game, but
So what are you
I do
looking
sub
for? Are
in.
you looking for a proprietary crew? Is that what you're wanting, employees? Or are you, I mean, what, because that changes the direction of this conversation, because I didn't know you had this network.
Yeah, no, my apologies. I do have the network. And that's actually like Alex, my painter. He is my number one guy I go to when it comes to painting.
Okay.
I don't like to shop around. I like to make a family. So I have my
Right.
electricians, I have my
It's a
plumbers, right?
smart, that's a smart general contractor
Yeah.
approach.
And
So
honestly,
tell,
it makes the actual subcontractors more
right.
loyal to you when they know you're not shopping around for the best price. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah. You want, yeah, I would be, but I would be too, again, that's good. So tell me
Yeah.
where you find that, you're lacking. Like, or, I mean, normally general contractors aren't really concerned about finding employees. Is it more so you are having trouble finding the actual work?
No, so I am having trouble finding the work, but I my goal is to get off the tools. That's mainly why I'm here today, is I want to know how I can get off the tools to no longer require to be like, I unloaded like 1,500 square feet of flooring up 2 flights of stairs on my last job.
I mean, that doesn't even, that to me, like if that's a task that you're doing, that's a very low skill task. I mean, to
Absolutely. And
me,
that's what I mean. The
to
demo,
right, the
the
demo, I mean, you can find someone to demo and do grunt work. I mean, that's just a
absolutely.
matter of you taking the time to put out an advertisement, and you're really looking for somebody with no skill, just seems to be a hard worker. So I think it comes down
Yeah.
to just having a hiring process, if
I
that's the
think
case.
my fear with hiring somebody as of right now is the fact that don't have enough work coming in to sustain
You told
myself.
me though that you opted to do general contracting, and you're telling me that it pushes you in a way that motivates you, right?
Yes, it's just
So
more in the
you
sense of,
actually do well with external motivation from what I gather from you.
yes, definitely.
So don't you believe that if you hire somebody and promise them work, that will push you to find the work that you need
I
to find for that
I
person?
think so. And that's why when I was listening to your podcast and you said hire someone when you don't need it and it will
Yeah.
make you work harder, that's why I'm like, I can't, I want to hear it from your voice. If I need
Yeah,
to
it's
hire someone
there. It's
today,
here, man. Yeah, it's here. You got to
I
do
will
that.
look into it. And that's why like
Because
I'm
here's
trying
the
to
thing, you're
expand.
occupying right now their job. Like you're
Mhm.
you're occupying their job. So you're thinking, how are we both going to fit in this job? And I think what you should be looking for, although yes, it would be wise to find a laborer to work alongside you to do all this grunt work, it would be wise to bring an apprentice to learn how to project manage. You
That's
know,
another thing. Like one of my questions I have written down here is like, in your opinion, what is the best? Because it's like general contracting and okay, as example, painting, you have
yeah,
a process of roles you need to fill.
yeah.
And like when I worked for that GC, who was doing the remodeling, the big scale remodels, he pretty like what I like to call my job title, as much as he called us carpenters. I like to call our title as we fix other people's screw ups. Because like when the drywaller made a mistake, instead of calling the drywaller back, he'd send us in to go fix the drywall. So we did a little bit of every trade, but we were basically the fixer uppers. Now, for me, that's what I have engraved in my head is what workers for GCs are, is just fixer uppers. But I guess, do you have any, experience or advice where what should I hire in what order to fill what spots for my company?
Well, you got to identify the spots right now from our conversation, which could be lacking context. I'm just going
Yeah.
based off what you told me. The spot that you're really trying to fill right now is a helper position, because
Mhm.
if you're only going in and doing demo and you're doing light carpentry and subbing everything else out, I think off the bat that's pretty good. I mean, if you're able to coordinate all that stuff and you're successful with it, I understand that's okay. But I think it would be wise, if you're going to go through the effort and energy to hire somebody, is to hire a replacement for what you do, because you do more than demo and you do more than trim and carpentry work.
Mhm.
You also oversee the production. And I'm not saying that you have to cease overseeing production, but there's nothing like having an internal individual that's working alongside you. Sort of like you said, how Alex was at one point this business partner, or you guys were banging jobs out together or whatever. it would be wise to do that because your most important role is networking and sales. I mean, you
Mhm.
have got to be in that role. So maybe training someone up to work alongside you. You can leave him on the job while you go out and sell and network and do all these things. But it really comes down to you understanding how to hire and putting together the right foundation for hiring. You
Mhm.
can't just bring someone into your business and say, okay, we'll pay you cash. There's got to be some promise that you're going to make in terms of looking out for their well-being, their best interest, or you're not going to get someone that cares about that stuff. You're just
Yeah.
going to get someone that's just showing up for cash every week.
Yeah.
So when it comes to hiring and the process of hiring, like, do you have any questions about that? I don't know if you've ever had experience hiring or doing
Absolutely
interviews or doing
not.
anything like that. Okay.
Like I know you post a lot of videos about hiring, and I do listen to every single one. I don't ever
It's a
skip on
boring
something.
topic. It really is. But it's one of those topics is like, dude, you might as well learn it because it's going to
Yeah,
really throw you off in the long run. But yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
What
Like
questions do you have
once I
about
get
hiring?
there. So honestly, I guess like okay, I'm gonna put an ad up. I'm gonna look for somebody. Obviously, I think right now I either need an apprentice or like a laborer who wants to expand.
There you go.
So I
Yeah,
think
you're
that's
not
like
going to bring in somebody who has GC level experience or
yeah,
super. You're going to have to recruit somebody with the idea like, hey, this person could oversee my operations at some point.
yeah.
You're going to mention it that you eventually are looking for somebody, but that's all you're going to do is mention it because you don't want to overpromise. You want to see
Mhm.
how they work. You want to make sure that there's somebody that you can actually give the keys to on the production side. Hey, I need you to schedule in this person, this person, this person. Really just training them how to just take control of that,
Mhm.
customer communication and all that stuff and building that up, man. But the hiring process is more than just throwing out an ad.
Absolutely.
Like anything I'm going to ever teach anybody, it's like you got to have a system or you're not
I
going to
think
get
I'm gonna follow the
results.
system of my first company, the commercial company. I really liked what they did, and I experienced it. That's why I understand that it was a good
Yeah.
process.
Yeah. And
It
you
was like
appreciated it when you got the job,
absolutely,
right? Yeah.
absolutely, and I was scared out of my mind the whole time because I was like, "Am I gonna get this job?" Right?
Yeah.
But basically, it started off with okay. It was actually funny because the way I got the job, they weren't even advertising they needed people. But I called them. I said, "Hey, do you guys need people?" My mother was like, "No, no, look, they're on their website says they don't, right?" But I called them still, and I said, "I want to bring in my
Right.
resume." They're like, "Sure, come on in." Gave them my resume, waited, got a call, did a phone interview. After the phone interview, then an in-person interview. After that, it was a 1 day trial, or sorry, half-day trial. After that, it was a 2 week trial. After that, it was a 3 month trial, and then you got fully hired on.
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, they understand that it's a filtering out process to get the best
Absolutely.
possible employees. And I think that you might not have that leverage to operate to that capacity, but you can still implement the principles of just
Mhm.
strategically hiring, creating perception that working for Brinq Construction, which you're doing great with the marketing, like the idea that Brinq Construction, that clean marketing, the cool name, like the branding, like that's exciting to somebody. It's
Yep.
just a matter of you framing the offer in a way that gets somebody to either switch from somewhere else or it gets somebody who's moving into town to want to be a part of your team.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, one of the, there's so many different directions, man. I look at your situation like this, and I'm gonna stick to my guns on this because you're in your position right now. To come to me, I love helping, and I'm seeing some problems. I'm seeing some things. You're 22, man. I think you've done a great job. I'm really inspired of your, just kind of like, forget this. I'm gonna do my own thing, and
Yeah.
you're learning as you go. Just take it from me, man. If I can give you one piece of advice, it would be to niche down on one area. You will see the big picture if you niche down. I don't get upset because I didn't see the house being built. I get happy because I see a house being transformed from start to finish on a paint
Yeah.
job. I still get that same feeling. But you have to understand, bro, you need to create a business that produces cash flow consistently, creates jobs for people, that you can actually take the time to focus on your sales process,
Mhm.
your sales process, your marketing, being able to step back and saying, okay, if I put in $1,000 to this area this month, it's going to generate me this many opportunities. And then if I
Mhm.
do this many opportunities, last month I had this many opportunities. I only sold 4 jobs. So I'm going to try something different this month and I'm going to try to sell 6 jobs. And then now that I sold 6 jobs, I need to produce this much and I have to have this big of a team to be able to produce it. And it really comes down, it all starts with the marketing. So that's why I'm saying maybe for the next 3 to 4 months, maybe you just dial down to kitchen remodels only or bathroom
Mhm.
remodels only. And you find out how to where those people are. Look on Google, type in bathroom remodeler, see who your competition is, run Google ads on that keyword and just see what
Mhm.
happens, you know?
Do you think it's worth hiring an SEO?
No, it's
No.
SEO takes too long. It's not for you. They're going to charge $1,500 to $2,500 a month, just for you to wait to get ranked on Google, and you're competing with these $1 million, multi-million
Mm,
dollar companies who have a way bigger budget than your construction company does right now.
yeah.
Same with me. I mean, I'm not going to compete with those guys. So you should pay for somebody who does Google ads. That's a good idea. Or if you want to take it to another level, I believe that it might be in your best interest to find somebody who does Facebook ads, because Facebook ads create brand loyalty. Ultimately you seem to be very intelligent when it comes to video blogging. You're not afraid to put
Mhm.
yourself on camera. This is
Absolutely.
where you're going to thrive. You can play the game of generality, which is somebody searching on Google, okay?
Yeah.
Generality. Or you can play the game of personality. Personality and Facebook go hand in hand. If you pop up on someone's timeline 7 times in the next week of, hey, I'm here with this next project here. We just did this remodel. Oh, look, here's Alex. What's up, Alex? How's everything going? Like, if you have the courage and the ability to go online like that and have somebody on the back end making sure that these videos get shown to the right people, and
Mhm.
dude, you're cornering your market. You're creating your own vacuum. Okay. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah,
that
I did
mindset?
actually have the question about Facebook ads because I know that you're like very into them now. Like that's where I'm at in your vlog. You could probably, or not your vlogs, your podcast. You could tell I'm pretty far
Thank you, man. I
behind. I
love
think
it.
I'm
Yeah, man.
65 episodes in, so and out of like
Dude,
218.
I'm so grateful, man. Thanks for that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
so Facebook ads. I did do Facebook ads at one point. Maybe it's because I'm not skilled enough to make a good ad, but you know how you can like boost your posts on like
Right.
Facebook or Instagram. So
Yeah.
I've done Facebook and Instagram, and I've never actually got a job. Like some of them have 1,700
Yeah. So
impressions.
so it's a good, kind of like how you would call yourself a specialist in construction. Like, this is what
Mhm.
you're good at. If a homeowner told you, "Hey, I was thinking about doing it myself." Could they get the job done? Probably. Would it be to the standard that it should be? No. And
Mhm.
it's the same thing like anything, man. There's people that actually specialize in this. It's like, for me, I don't know accounting, and I don't ever want to learn it. I'm not going to figure it out on my own just to save a few bucks. I'm
Yeah.
going to hire a specialist because they're going to get me to my goal quicker. And that's what you need to think about, is like, what is the cost? What is the potential return on my investment? And if
Mhm.
they actually meet the return or exceed it, then it's worth doing it again.
Yeah.
When it comes to Facebook ads, you need somebody on the back end, bro. You need somebody looking at data, and you need somebody looking at retargeting and audiences and all these things. When you boost posts, you don't have all those metrics. It's just Facebook. They're making a killing off of people like you because you have no
Mhm.
clue what you're doing. And I didn't either. So I'm not even an expert with Facebook ads. I'm just
It's
saying,
all
like,
good.
it's easy to hit boost, a radius, and then you show an ad. Well, guess what? Not everyone jumps on the first ad. You and I are both buyers. We see a
Mhm.
product one time, dude, we skip over it. But if we keep seeing it and seeing it and seeing it and seeing it and seeing it every single day, we have a greater chance every single day of at least looking at the website. All
Yeah.
right. So then we look at the website and we're like, this is a pretty cool product. And then we get a different ad because we looked at the website that says, hey, listen, I know you saw the website, man. All right, listen, we're real quick. I know that you're thinking about it, but I just want to offer you this because you went to the website. I'm going to give you $50 off if you buy this product. Do you see how valuable that is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Big difference than boosting a post and not having anything that nurtures the journey. Okay, that is the difference. So I
Mhm.
think, if we get anything out of this, looking at your situation, not being a prominent name in your area, you
Mhm.
could go the route of spending money on Google ads. You could go the route of spending money on Angie. But dude, you have a professional video and microphone right in front of me, man. You're not afraid
Yeah.
to get on the camera. You specifically, I think, have a good opportunity to capitalize on Facebook.
Yeah. No, and honestly, like I think my thing is like you were saying before, you can't take everything on yourself. But like as example, 2 months ago, I was almost gonna go bankrupt with my company. I didn't have work for about 3 months. And I just want to let you know, like I don't just sit around and do nothing when I don't have work. Like I've started up multiple businesses without myself. Like I have a woodworking business. I have an entire wood shop that I built in my garage. I do cutting boards, custom furniture, all that kind of stuff. So I started doing that on my downtime. I also resell on Amazon. I do beekeeping. I always keep myself busy.
Wait, you keep bees? You got
Yeah,
bees?
in my backyard, there's about 180,000 bees.
180,000 bees.
Yeah, we
You
were
get
actually
their you get their honey.
yeah, we actually just I had honey this morning for breakfast
That's
on
really cool,
toast.
man.
Yeah, I'm a
Dude,
full beekeeper.
you are an interesting person, man.
Yeah,
I
and I
love it.
also like sell firewood. I have 3 project cars. I just bought
So
one
how cool
yesterday.
would it be at one point to actually have the ability to do all those things that you love to do without the pressure of doing them because you have to pay your bills?
Oh
And how
yeah,
much
and
more
that's exactly where I want
creativity.
to get.
Right. So what I'm saying is get rid of the emotion of your construction business of wanting to see everything from start to finish and wanting
Hmm.
to like you gotta disassociate from that because you're
Hmm.
gonna get the emotion at your leisure when it's running to its capacity. You can go there and sit in the truck, dude, and watch the whole thing happen if you
Yeah,
want. But a lot of technicians, we're using that word again, and I really hope you read that book because then you'll be like, oh, you just call me a technician. And now I understand, but a lot of technicians are emotionally tied to those projects, and what it does is it alters your decision making, which is it takes away the strategy of I need to get people here to do this for me so I can go do other things that are more important.
yeah,
Okay, because that is what you're best at. Dude, you would work on the side as a hobby, bro. I like to write and sell and market on the side. So for me, it's like it was easy to disassociate with production because I don't even like it. I'm not,
yeah,
I'm horrible at painting. So that was easy for me. Okay. It's going to be way harder for you because these two things that you have, which are your hands, are your greatest assets. So we need
yeah,
to figure out a way to be strategic. I like that you're coming on to here. I'm just one opinion. There's many other great business coaches out there that give you more opinions. But again, let me tell you from my experience. Okay. Just one more final thought here because
yep,
I really want you to get this. You spent almost an hour with me. So I want to make sure that I give you one thing to really narrow this down so you can take it and just try it for me, please.
yes,
Okay. Write down one thing you're going to do for the next 3 months and do it and then
yeah.
market for it. Okay. What is your favorite thing to do? If you had to pick one thing out of your construction business, what's that one thing that you actually like really enjoy doing?
Mm, it's a hard question to be
It's not
honest.
hard. It's not hard. If it's not hard, pick one
D-
thing that you just
does it
would
have to
do.
be, does it have to be production?
Of course.
Like it's something in production is what you're
Inside the
talking
house. If there's
inside
one
the
thing
house.
that, yeah, if I gave you a whole house and said you have to pick one area of this house to make better, which one would you pick? Because you
Um,
love the process, you love the result, you love all those things.
Now, okay, if I had to choose one, it might be just like finished carpeting in general or like baseboards or something like that.
Okay.
But I will
So
say there's this is one of my problems. I don't love it. And that's why I want to get off the tools. I don't want to be a part of production. I
right.
love it in the sense of I
I'm
don't
just
mind
saying
doing it.
that the idea that you like it will allow you to sell it a lot better than if it's
Yeah.
something you don't like, and allow you to understand it and study it better than if it's something you don't like. So if you like finished carpentry, okay, here's a way for you to have a hand in the business but not be the business. Okay.
Hmm.
Flooring. I mean, if you look at flooring, almost every flooring job that I've ever sold, I've been able to upsell brand new baseboards.
Yeah.
So what I would look for when you're hiring is somebody that has experience installing floors.
Okay.
That's where you should start. If I could give you a direction, that's where you should start.
Okay.
Is someone installing floors. Why? The flooring installation market is through the roof,
Yeah.
dude. Okay. Laminate and vinyl planking is the new in.
Oh
These
yeah.
things, peel and stick flooring, you're still charging the same amount as if you had the cut wood floor. They don't know the difference and they don't care. What's also really cool is you can separate the labor costs from the material a lot easier. So you don't have to worry about losing money. You give a labor cost, they go get whatever flooring they want.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Easy upsell opportunity. Hey, listen, we could either add quarter round, right? Which I know you've done before, add quarter round, or we can remove your baseboards and put brand new 5-inch baseboards on there. It'll look amazing. I think it's worth the additional investment. Upsell opportunity. So maybe you have this guy install floors and then you just come in and do the finished carpentry baseboard just so you can get your hand in the pot, and you guys can work a little team aspect there. The marketing's easy. The transformations are easy to market on Facebook. You have the ability to hire somebody and narrow down what you're looking for. Hey, you have floor installation experience. Cool. That's where we're going to start.
So you hire a floor installation.
Yeah, man, hire
Okay.
somebody that has experience installing floors. So you actually have somebody that you can put to work and they can generate revenue for you. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like now, hey, I need to find a flooring job for this guy. Because one of your big fears when we spoke was not being able to keep someone busy, but you got to make sure that you're aligning what you're finding with their skill set. So it's like, ultimately, hey, if I know I got a guy that can install floors, I know my marketing needs to be directed to flooring. Okay. And that's essentially what you can do with all the different trades. Like, oh, I got a granite guy. Cool. Now I got to market a granite job to get that guy a granite job. It's the same thing. But I think because you like finished carpentry and you understand flooring pretty well, I'm sure, just simply by knowing how to work a saw, cuts, things like that, you can come in and be
flooring, yeah.
Used to do flooring. I mean, what do you think about that plan? Maybe for the next 3 months, man, just try it out. Go call Homestar, tell them you only want flooring leads, and watch, you'll probably get more leads because that's a narrowed down niche.
Do you think I should obviously have that hired person before then, though?
No.
Just me banging out the floors?
You can do it yourself, but you need to be hiring. I mean, honestly, I would line up the next job that you get with a deadline and say, hey, I need to hire somebody by this time frame. It'll motivate you to do the interviews. And I don't want you doing less than 4 interviews. You need to do at least 4 interviews, dude, because if you get with the idea that, you know, the interviews aren't working out or something, you might get discouraged and say, you know what, forget this hiring process. It sucks. I hate interviewing people.
Yeah.
Just say that you're going to do 4, you know, and try to get 4 people to sit down with you at outside of a coffee shop or whatever, and do your process, man. You've got the foundation at 22, bro. It's like, just again, I'm not going to budge. I really think that the goal for you is to create a system that works for itself. Try it out. You got plenty of time to build homes, bro, and see it from start to finish. I think you're going to be a successful builder one day, just from what I'm learning from you and how much you really appreciate that start to finish. But you've got to learn how to run a profitable, consistent, predictable business. And I think that it starts with flooring. Again, you ran into a major issue, you told me earlier, with your margins on this big remodeling job because you didn't properly allocate costs for, was it the materials that kind of threw you off?
No, it was the whole thing. Like, I didn't put a markup on anything. And now I do put markups. Like, I do have a system on how I price jobs, but back then it was like my very first big job.
Right.
And I lost money because I didn't do proper
learning experience. You won't do that again. That's great. And you didn't even really go that red. So it's like, you know,
and I don't even regret it. I don't regret it. I'm so happy that I learned that, because, and I was happy that they were so happy with the house. Like,
they loved it. So it's like, dude, this is success. And don't think that you got to just immediately be profitable. I mean, like, dude, you left your safe union job to start a freaking business, bro. You should be really proud. You should be really proud of yourself and what you've accomplished. Just remember, you got to crawl before you walk, man. And I think, like, the flooring is a safe bet. The marketing is easy. The talent is easy. The process is easy. The upsells are easy. The margins are good. I mean, it all lines up. So that's what I got for you, man. Was this helpful?
Yeah, definitely. I did just have one more question for you, though.
Absolutely.
So actually, I have 2 questions technically.
Sure.
So one was, do you have any recommendations on, like, free and also paid tools that will help me, like, organize my business and keep me organized? Because like I was saying before, like, I do my own bookkeeping. I've learned my own bookkeeping. I don't know if you guys have QuickBooks out there. I'm assuming you do. Yeah. So I've learned QuickBooks all by myself. I'm doing all my bookkeeping. I have an accountant, but, like, I'm so busy all the time. It's like, I can't come home and just relax because I always have work to do. And when I do relax, then I'm behind.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think you've gotten that far in my podcast. I built a software. It's called Dripjobs. And that's literally the focus of what it does, is organize your business, because you have to understand that all of your customers fall into a bucket at any given time, right? So let me give you an example. You have brand new leads that come in through or Homestars or whatever you're using. They're new leads, Facebook leads. Okay. What do you need to do when you get a new lead, right? You have to follow up with them and you got to schedule them, right? Okay. So then once you schedule them, they move into another bucket. That's a scheduled estimate. And then when you're building a proposal for them, they fall into another bucket. That's a proposal in a draft. You're waiting to actually send the proposal. Then when you send them, then you have them in proposal sent. You're waiting for a response, right? So you have all these buckets that these people fall into. Right now in your business, if you've been doing estimates, you may not know where everyone is. And that's kind of frustrating, because you should be utilizing that information to follow up with new leads that didn't answer the phone, right? So I'm sure you have Homestar leads that you've gotten that haven't answered the phone, right?
Oh yeah. And I did learn from you, like, I'm on them. Like, when they don't answer, or when they don't answer me on Homestars, because there's things like preferred contact methods, email. I send them a little message saying, hey, message me on email. I don't get an email. Okay. I call them the next day. No answer. Okay. I call them the next day. And I'm on them. And I know I'm trying
They're giving you the email with Homestars now?
Well, yeah, what happens is they say preferred way of contact is email. So then I leave them a message saying, hey, if you'd like to continue this conversation, email me at blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I was about to say, man, because that's a game changer, because Dripjobs follows up with them automatically.
They don't give me their email. No. I
Yeah,
have to give
yeah.
them
I know. I've
mine.
always had trouble with home stars because they don't do that because it's weird, man. You're buying the lead. Give me the information, so
Yeah,
I can market.
exactly.
But I understand what you're saying. So like, where I'm getting at is that's great that you're following up with them, but you got to understand like organization is more than just the sales pipeline. That's what I explained to you. Then you
Yeah.
have a production pipeline, especially in contracting. You have 4 stages. You got people that you're waiting to put on a firm scheduled date. You have
Mhm.
people that are scheduled. You have projects that are ongoing and in progress, and then you have finished jobs. And each of these customers need to be put in a bucket. And that's what Dripjobs does is it just organizes everybody and makes sure that the communication that those people are supposed to be receiving in those stages is getting sent. So,
Yeah. I was
again,
actually just at the part where you're like it's funny because you're like, oh, I have this thing coming up in a month. And I'm like, I want to know what it is, but I know it's already out. And then
yeah,
when my
that's so
buddy
cool.
Alex came over the other day, because we just had some beers in the backyard, um, he was like, oh yeah, it's Dripjobs. And I started looking up online. I guess my
Yeah,
only thing is, and please tell me if I'm wrong here. When I did look at it, I felt like it was a lot more catered to the companies, well, which I might start moving into now, but that niche down to something that like has a bunch of jobs coming in at the same time. You know what I mean? Like how you say, okay, I get 2 to 3 leads a day. If as a GC, if I was getting maybe 6 or 7 a month, is Dripjobs something that is still useful for someone with the less leads coming in?
absolutely. I mean, either
Yeah.
way, I mean, you got to realize that there's more than just lead flow. Like you still have project management, you still have to send proposals, right? You still have to invoice customers. It doesn't matter
Absolutely.
the volume that you're doing. You still need a software that does this. And the problem is that you got to realize Dripjobs follows up with customers. It sends estimates, sends it, does invoices, creates work orders, schedules both appointments and job schedules. So like you're either going to get 5 different software to do it, or you can just have one and you're gonna have to input information. You can mess up information, email addresses, like so. It's all encompassing. But again, when you ask me about software and stuff like that, it's crucial to have something. I mean, again, anything you could do to automate a
Mhm.
process that you would have to do is going to be helpful because you're either not doing it, or you're not doing it efficiently. Like
Yeah.
right now, again, if you don't like we're speaking and your pipeline is not being nurtured. Like people who
No.
receive quotes from you that they didn't accept, they're not being followed up with right now unless you
No.
actually pick up the phone. And there's not a lot of motivation to do that. I've
Of
been
course
there.
not.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So how many quotes have you given in the last 10 days?
Um, I'd say about 4 or 5.
4 or 5. Okay. And how many of those 4 or 5 have been accepted and approved and you've gotten a deposit?
Some of them are up in the air right now. None of them, to be honest, have been
None of them.
accepted and approved.
Right. And I'm just want to go to your question. So, like, as we're speaking now, these people could be getting nurturing emails from Brinq Construction saying, hey, are you interested in moving forward? Or, hey, here's a little bit about us. These are some of our
Yeah.
values. This is, hey, it's been a week since we spoke. Just wondering, did any questions come up? Normally at this time, some questions come up, or do you need help choosing, the style? Like you can create these follow-up campaigns. They're already built into the accounts. You can edit them. But what I'm getting at is, it's like, if it's not automated, either you got to do it manually or it's not being done efficiently. And it's important to nurture. And what they're going to see is like, wow, this company's professional. Like no one's following up with them, you
Yeah.
know?
I
So when
honestly,
they
it's
see,
crazy because so many people say like, "Oh yeah, you're the first person to actually respond to me," and I'm like,
yeah,
"Wait,
it's
what?"
the
Like,
industry standard
it's
is 4.
crazy to think that that's how there's so many
So
people
we
that just.
need to stack the deck. Like that's what I'm getting
Mhm.
at. It's like anything that you can do. And I can't tell you, dude, I've probably sold over $1 million worth of jobs simply by following up and asking, hey, do you have any questions? And my
Yeah.
automations do that now where they will respond with the question in the email. So I have an automated email that goes out and asks, hey, do you have any questions? And then they respond with their question. I pick up the phone and I call them from there,
Mhm.
but now, I mean, I have so many leads that are coming in. There's no way I can manually do this, or else I'd have to pay someone 8 times whatever Dripjobs costs to do that for me.
Yeah.
You know,
And
what
I
a waste
guess
of money.
okay, so I know I'm not trying to hold you for too long
No,
here.
I'm fine, man. What do you got?
Um, I just want to get your opinion on what you think would be the best plan of action for me because I know, okay, I'm gonna try this 3 month thing. I'm gonna try it, like you said, get a flooring guy, take flooring jobs, and try to upsell for baseboards and stuff, right?
Okay.
So I guess step one, I obviously have to finish this job I'm doing now. It's a whole basement remodel. It's gonna go till mid-October, right?
It's not that far. I
Until
mean,
then, until then, I can also start like finding flooring jobs.
there you go. You got
So
it.
say I schedule in a flooring job for let's say end of October.
Okay.
Do you think it'd be beneficial to try to hire some before that floor
Now,
drop?
hire them now. And I think
Now.
what you should do is say, hey, in the beginning, I'm just finishing up a basement remodel. Give us a chance to work together, and see if this is going to be a good fit. Dude, you have the leverage. You have a job that you can bring someone on and lighten the load. And guess what, man? You might get so lucky with this hire. Maybe they are able to finish some aspects of the job
Mhm.
where you can go find more flooring jobs to stack the pipeline up,
This
and
is so
then you're going to,
exciting.
yeah, it is exciting because you have a direction. And it's like,
Absolutely.
again, like, hey, looking for, when you put together that ad, it's like looking for an experienced flooring contractor, 1 year or more experience, wanted to grow with a fast paced, goal oriented company, just, make it appealing, like make it to
Mhm.
where you would want to actually apply. Think of it like that. Find people that are like you and you'll have a better outcome.
And do you think it's worth it to also mention the ad? It's not just going to be flooring, but like we're also going to try
No,
to expand. No, just flooring.
no, no, just it's just flooring. Because what you're gonna do is you're gonna intimidate someone whose best skill is flooring, and you're pretty
Mhm.
much saying, hey, you're gonna have to do something different. They don't want to do something different. That's what they're good
Okay.
at.
Is
My
so
painters do not want to install cabinetry, so I would
let's
never
say
put them in
in
that
the
position.
future, let's say in the future I have Jimmy, he's my flooring guy. I'm getting him sustainable jobs. Now, am I basically niching myself to flooring for now and then slowly expanding and getting, okay, now I'm getting a tile guy to start doing tile floors,
I think
right?
that would be smart. I mean, you got to realize you're creating a machine. And again, when you take the emotion out of it, you can make better decisions. And I think that because you're going into this flooring journey, you should go all into it and actually try to specialize in something, and then grow from there. I think the next step should be getting Jimmy a helper. So
Mhm.
there's two guys doing flooring for demo, for everything, and then teaching. If Jimmy doesn't know finished carpentry, teaching Jimmy how to do finished carpentry. So now you're no longer required to be on the job to do these baseboards, to even do crown molding. That's an easy upsell. Hey, we're going to be here. You want some crown molding in the living room?
Mhm.
I mean, dude, you can really expand with this, but flooring gets you in the door.
And then get
And it
Alex to do
allows
the
you.
painting the baseboards, of course, right?
There you go, Alex. Come on, man. Of course. I'm just saying, like, dude, you already do this, but now
Yeah.
you're niching down and getting in the door. And again, I'll mention this in about 6 months when you catch up to the podcast.
Yeah.
There was somebody I brought on, and he was doing something similar, but I told him, niche down on flooring. And he's a good thing for you to do is go to the flooring outlets where they actually sell the flooring
Mhm.
and let them know that you're a vendor. So when they get somebody that comes in to look at flooring, that's kind of the buying pattern. They'll go to the flooring place first to look at the styles, and
Yeah.
then that place will subcontract or refer a reputable contractor to go do it. You seem very personable. Would be easy for you to go make a couple friends in those stores and just
Absolutely.
ask,
I
hey,
already
how
have
many
friends in the flooring stores.
yeah, how many people? Yeah, just you'd be like, how many people come in and ask for flooring projects, and would could I get on your vendor list?
And I guess
Easy,
it's a
easy, free flow of leads.
I guess it's a bad idea to still take remodeling projects during this.
Yes.
Just stick to flooring.
Stick to flooring, man. Just for now. I mean, you can always go back. Like, you're
Absolutely,
in this
yeah.
position right now because of the randomness, not because you're doing a bad job. You're just not, you have no consistency.
Mhm.
And I'm just trying to help you understand that, like, that is a very important aspect of success in business.
Okay, fantastic. Alex is going to be happy that you're telling me to go with flooring because he's like, no, he's going to tell you to go painting and you're going to replace me.
No, you're good, Alex. Thanks, bro,
Yeah,
for the,
no. And
for the,
honestly, like I can't thank him enough. Like he's an amazing painter.
cool,
Um,
man. Bring him on. I'd love to help him
yeah,
too.
no, for sure. And he's just starting his business, actually. He just
Oh, that's my favorite, man.
Yeah, like I've been giving him all the jobs that he gets, from what I understand, is
You
all
guys
from
can, yeah,
me.
I love that, man. I
And
love
I'm
that.
pumping him as many jobs as I can. And like I could see such
Absolutely.
good potential for him. Like I
Great.
I see more potential in him than I do in myself sometimes. Like he is an amazing worker.
That's cool, man. That's
Uh,
cool.
and now last question, very quick one. Is there a, like I don't know how this works 100% if you post this or if you decide to post this, but is there a way I can rewatch this to then be able to
Yeah,
soak
yeah,
in
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
information?
I have the well, it'll be recorded for the
Yeah,
audio, and I can send you the video link if you want.
that'd be great. Thank you.
We'll do.
Awesome. Well, thank you, man. Really do
Yeah, no
appreciate it.
problem, bro. Are you fired up?
Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm probably more nervous than I was before coming on this podcast because
Hey,
now it's
man.
like
Now there's somebody holding you accountable. Don't come back to me in 3 months and tell me you didn't do anything, dude.
Yeah, I should do a follow-up though.
You should do one. I mean, honestly, I mean, it'd be to your benefit. I mean, I do care. I really want you to be successful. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, that's why I do this, my hobby. But I really just think, you know, just focus on those things. Try it, man. Get out there and try it. Say, I'm a flooring company for the next 3 months. See
Yeah.
how the marketing works. See the buying patterns. See what people ask when they are into a flooring job.
Yeah.
Have samples in the car if you need to. You know, bring
guess I'm
trim
young.
samples.
I have the ability to make mistakes.
And
right?
one thing I want to mention, you make cutting boards, right?
Yep.
Phenomenal gift after a job, dude.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I
Okay.
literally have one in my living room ready for
All
my
right,
next
cool.
client.
Yeah, I just want to make sure. That's a great gift. So
all the time.
yeah. All right, man. Well, listen, we'll touch base soon. I appreciate you joining the Business Breakthrough, man. And you know, hopefully by the time that you're caught up to this episode, you will be in a really nice place.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I think I'm gonna have to listen. I need to listen to my own voice, so I'm gonna listen to it.
All right, dude. Dripjobs CRM is finally here. That's right. So Dripjobs is an automation platform for contractors, home service professionals that's going to automatically follow up with your customers. It's going to allow you to send invoices, estimates. It's going to allow you to send out blast marketing emails to individuals based on where they are in the buying process. This software is next level. And I'm reaching out to you. You're a listener of this podcast, and I want you to be one of the first ones to give it a shot. So if you want to see what Dripjobs can do for your business, I'd love for you to head over to dripjobs.com, sign up for a free demo, and get your team involved, and let us sit with you and show you how powerful this software is. It's going to save you time, it's going to make you money, and you're going to love the features that are built into Dripjobs. So if you want to check it out, head over to dripjobs.com. And we will give you first priority being a podcast listener to be one of the very first to try out Dripjobs in your home service business. I'm super excited to share that with you, and I'll catch you on the next episode.